Okay, get some light on the subject. We're going to start with 16-inch and remove it. Hopefully the batteries in this camera will hold up long enough. And you're going to ask, what's he going to do with the drum heads that he had on there? I'm going to keep them. You never can tell when something's going to happen, and you're going to need a drum head and use them as backup. Well, there's 1,000 things you can do with them. You can make you can make snare ties with them, all kinds of stuff. One down. And I do have my drum head facing away from me because the pearl stamp is right below that as well. Now that's just one of the ways that I orient my drums, because I've got just a slight little curve, the slightest one you can see. Can't barely see it. If I took a bubble level and put on it, you'd probably be able to tell. Okay, that one's off. Hey, you know what? You've heard of air guitars, how about air drum? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, okay. I know that was stupid, wasn't it? And here's the new drum head. Kind of multitasking right now. That gurgling you hear in the background, I'm cooking some Thai curry chicken. From scratch, yes, from scratch. I always think it's really cool how any type of screw that goes into something is machined so perfect that if it's off just a little bit, it can screw up the screw or bolt or any of that. That's pretty cool. I know. You're thinking, this guy's crazy. Nah, not really if you think about it. I mean, I'm going to turn this because I'm sure y'all really don't want to see me doing this, but you can. Now, basically got it on there. Okay, what I'm going to do is tighten it down, finger tight as I can get it. Press some to seat it a little bit. Let's see how far off we are. That one's higher pitched, but we're on it. In a minute, we'll take the actually pretty close. Well, now, and this is showing you how easy it is and how fast it is to change drum heads. I didn't keep time on it, but we're going to pull out the drum dial here. Of course, everything falls. But what can I say? Okay, now I've got the drum dial calibrated. And we're going to set these at 78. And I'm at 80. $78. 76, let me double check that. $78. This one's 76. 78, okay. Let's go to this one. 78. 77.5. We're at 78.5. We're going to tap it down just a hair. $78. 79.5. I'm going to drop it down to 77 or 76. Okay, there it is, 77.5. 78, okay. 78. Yep. 78. 78. 78. 78. 78. 78. 78. 78. 78. Okay. So as you saw, I got it in tune with itself, and then I tightened up everything as finger tight as I could get it, and then I went around with the drum dial, and let's see what we get. Pretty good. I would say this one is changed, in tune, and ready to play. And you don't hear any leftover resonance or anything like that. So that's how you do the floor tom. And I hope you get something out of this one. And I actually put pressure on it, as you saw, because that kind of stretches the drum head once it's on. And I know some people will actually press down on the rim as they're going around. I think it actually depends on the person, how comfortable they are at tuning these. So I'll come back with the other two in a few minutes. And that took me about 17 minutes is all to actually take the old one off and put the new one on and tune it and everything. Now that's easy. So we'll see y'all in a few minutes because I have to switch batteries anyway. Okay, we are back. We are going to take off the head of the 12-inch tom and replace it with the Evans G2. This shouldn't take very long. You can actually time it. I had to restart this though because I had my headset on. It's funny, I had to go to my one-day post-op checkup with the doctor for my eyes yesterday, and I walked all the way down the stairs, out into the parking lot, got in my son's car, and I noticed I had my headsets on. That shows you how much I keep my headset on, like way too much. Are y'all timing this? And if you're wondering what that little tingling noise is, I have a wind chime inside here. For some reason, I don't care. I used heavy duty sinew and everything. The wind still broke it. So I had to order new pieces all the time. Okay. That'll be it. And that took me about 2 minutes to take off, if that. And remember, I have this oriented with the pearl facing out. That's just how I set mine up. It's helps me keep things straight, you know, keep things going. And it helps when I take down the drums and set them back up again. Now, some people may have different ideas how to change heads and stuff. And if you do, feel free to post a comment. I don't mind comments. And feel free to subscribe as well. And by the way, the hoops are completely straight. I tried to run, I couldn't believe how straight they were. I tried to actually run a credit card through underneath them on a flat surface. That didn't go through, so I tried the sheet of paper. No. I even shined a light on the other side. And there was, I mean, they were perfectly smooth. Now we're going to go hand tighten. If you can see, I've got the Evans and the Pearl lined up there. I'll go hand tight as I can get. Okay. Add a little bit of weight and hear it crickling and crackling, which is normal. I'm just going to get it in tune with itself first. And then I'll tweak it. I think I'm going to go probably a 77 on these. This one's a little low. Still a little low. There we go. That one's a little bit high. Now we're going to see just how far off I was. Okay. That's at 86. 87, and I wanted to go to 77. We're getting there. We're at 80. $79.5. I'm only going in about a half turn increments on this. 77, that's where I wanted it. Let's try this one. And we're at 82. 80. 77. 81. 77.5. 77. Yeah, when my son was over here, he came to pick me up and stuck around to see if I needed anything because my equilibrium and everything was off. And, well, they gave me a bunch of anti-nausea medicine in my IV, and they put a patch behind my ear. And you know, all that time in the Marine Corps, I never got seasick or any air sickness or anything. Never. But you give me anesthesia, and the second I come out of it, I'm nauseated. So anyway, my depth perception was off and everything, you know, and so my son, he was staying over here, and he decided he was going to take a shower, and he picked up I had an off-white towel laying on the couch. And it's an older towel. I used it for actually drilling some metal, and so it was full of shavings. And this morning I noticed that it was hanging over the shower. And I asked him, I says, "Did you use that?" He says, "Yeah." And I says, "Well, you probably won't pass by any metal detectors." And I told him what I did, and he's like, he just laughed. He says he didn't want to, stain my other towels. I wished I had one of those Lazy Susan things, but I don't do this enough to actually invest in one. Exactly. If you can see, I'm tuning these right at exactly 77. And I do have a drum bot, but it doesn't work very good. I got it used, and what can you say? But I did get the drum dial new through Sweetwater Sound, and this has been awesome. There's some good people at Sweetwater Sound, I'm telling you. 7. And they take real good care of you. They do, their packaging is really great. Right now, I'm just checking. Now, I don't think you did that. There. We are done. Maybe. Okay. Let's see what this one sounds like. Perfect. Okay. And I have a 10-inch coming up next. So I'm going to take a break to get off my back for a second because it hurts. That's why. We'll see you back in a minute. Okay, I think we are ready to do the 10-inch. So if we're ready to do that, we'll get right into it. One thing that's given me confidence, though, is when I was in Okinawa, we were up at the northern training area, and it was a moist day, and we were on a map and compass course, and we were up on the side of a peat hill, just like peat moss, exactly is what it was. Oh, and if you notice, I've got it oriented straight out, the pearl, and I'll put the Evans straight out. But anyway, we were humping along, and it started to rain. And all of a sudden, the peak that was under me started to give out. And I knew about 20 yards down was a cliff. It was about 300 foot high. And at the bottom of it was the Shinkao River, which is probably about, at the time, probably 8 inches deep. And the rest was rock. So if I would have hit, if I would have gone off that, I would not be doing this right now, today. Okay. And anyway, as I was sliding down that peat, it was a scary situation, and it was interesting because there was one little sapling on that whole side of that hill. And I grabbed hold of that little sapling. It was probably maybe 3 or 4 feet tall and skinny. And I grabbed hold of that sapling, and just as I did, it whipped around, and a branch from it went into my right ear and perforated my tympanic membrane, my eardrum, and that was that didn't feel too good. But here I was hanging on the side of this cliff, close to it. I was only like 3 or 4 yards from the actual cliff. And I was hanging on for dear life, and the men I was with, they threw me a rope. And of course they couldn't come down, because then that whole side of that mountain would have collapsed. So from where they were, throwing me a rope was the best idea. And I got medevac from the northern training area. It was interesting. And before that, they had me as a mortarman. I was infantry to start off with, and they put me as a mortarman. And so I had a 60 millimeter mortar, and myself and this, I was like a boot lance corporal. And this, let me press down this, get it crinkling here. There's some crinkles. And this sergeant who was with me, he always liked to play my A gunner. And he would grab the round and get it ready and have it sitting in the edge of the tube, and I'd sight it in. As soon as I got it sighted in, I would say gun up, and I would pull away, and he would drop that round down that tube. And we'd get, I forgot exactly how many we had, we could get going and shoot before the first one hit. It was kind of fun. But anyway, I was ready and I was sighting it in, and this captain walked behind us and says, "Y'all hurry up and get that gun up." And my head was right up against the tube. If I'd had a helmet on, I wouldn't be here today. And I heard him drop that round. And we're going to do this at 77 as well. I heard that round go down that tube, and kaboom! And that screwed up my left tympanic membrane. So then I had my right tympanic membrane was done in Okinawa, and they fixed them both. But I was worried that I was going to lose my ability for sound. And I went in the Marine Corps when I was 17. But it was, my parents had a Buick Electra 225. And I tuned that thing up. And there was a guy who worked for GM that lived across the street from us. And he saw me tune it up. He had all kinds of tools. And he come walking over and he says, "What are you doing?" I says, "I'm just trying to tune this up." And he goes, "Sounds pretty good now." He says, "Drive it across the street and let's put it on the dynamometer," whatever he had, whatever you call those things. I'm not a mechanic. And I think I was like 1 degree off by ear. But what's interesting is after the Marine Corps doesn't have any doctors. We use the Navy doctors. And after they repaired my ears, I've got friends who have hearing aids and everything else. And when I would take one of those tests, they'd try to trick me because they would see just a straight line down at the bottom. And of course, they wouldn't look in my record to see exactly if I'd had anything done to my ears. And then they'd ask me, "How come you didn't go in the Navy? You could have gone into sonar or something, man. Your hearing is exceptional." I said, "Well, thanks to you guys, it is." I don't have a clue how they repaired my ear. And then after I retired, I was at the VA down in Tucson. And I was having my eyes checked. And this lady doctor, she says, "Have you ever been around explosions?" I'm sitting there thinking, I spent 22 years in the Marine Corps. Yeah, why? She says, "Because you have a torn retina." They didn't fix it. She said, "If you start seeing starbursts or anything like that," she says, "you need to get in right away." Okay. And Once in a while I'd see some starbursts, but nothing big, you know. It wasn't a whole lot. It didn't last, but just a second. And so I never went in for that. And then I started having vision problems. And they checked my eyes. And they're like, well, you've got cataracts. And they're pretty bad. And they said, but they're not bad enough for the VA to authorize surgery on them. I'm like, okay. So the following year I go in there. And the eye doctor says, yep, it's time. He says, it looks like they're pretty active there and grew pretty quick. He says, at least the left one did. He says, so we'll get you in to have the left eye operated on. I'm like, okay. And so I go to get the left eye operated on. And they don't do it at the VA here, so I had to go out in town. And I used the Veterans Choice thing. And used a civilian doctor. And he was awesome. All those people were awesome. And, you know, of course, it takes a couple of months to get an appointment. The VA, you got to go through the VA, then they got to approve you. They tried to send me down to Phoenix, which was like a 2-hour drive. But the doctor from Phoenix says, why are we going to do that? He says, that's kind of crazy. So he told them they should just keep me going up here and have the doctor do it up here. And so when they gave me the eye exam up here, I mean, I had enough eye exams to last me a few years. It seems like. The doctor up here says, the civilian doctor, he says, well, I can tell you right now, he says, your right eye's got a cataract on it too. It's got to come out. And so they fixed my left eye. And I guess I was flailing around, is what the way the doctor put it. But I have a pretty good black eye. And it's kind of funny, I would joke, and when people would see me, I'd tell my son that, I'd tell everybody, my son beat me up, gave me a black eye. But everybody knows that wasn't true. I was just joking. And I went to a funeral service. And if you have seen the movie where the people have, their eyes are black, I mean, like you can't see any iris or anything like that. It's just black. That's how my eye looked. It was pretty gnarly looking. And after the service, they were going to eat, so I wore a patch. And there's a young man there. He tells his parents, look, a real pirate. But yeah, when I told him, say I'd had my neck operated on before, and so I told the eye doctor, I says, you know, when they operated on my neck, I woke up during surgery. And I said, so I have some anesthesia awareness. And so he says, okay, so So the anesthesiologist, he took that into consideration. And I told him, plus I get sick after I get nauseated when I come off of the, when I come off of the medication, the drug. So he took that into consideration. Sure enough, I woke up during the eye surgery and I saw geometric figures. I guess the doctor had fractured the cataract, but hadn't sucked it out yet and replaced it. And he just says, "Don't move." And the next thing I know, I was out again. But then when I woke up, I got sick. And so, anyway, that only lasted about 5 minutes. And then I go to get my right eye done, and they got me under, and for some reason, my respirations got really shallow, and everything just, I started going downhill real quick, so they had to stop the operation. And you know, I was in recovery probably 3 hours, a good 3 hours or so, and it's pretty bad because I can read an EKG, I can read heart rhythms in my dreams, and I was laying on that on the gurney there, and there's a machine behind me, and I'm looking at it upside down. I couldn't make any, I couldn't tell hide nor hair from what those rhythms were showing. I was looking at it upside down. But then it gave me an idea of what it's like to be on that side instead of the other side helping. But then the second time, the other day when they did the surgery, everything went perfect. They gave me some stuff, anti-nausea medicine, and even put a patch behind my ear. Like I said, I'd never been seasick, never been airsick. And I went to sleep, and when I woke up, I felt great. I didn't get sick or anything. Okay, let's see what we got here. I think we did it. Like I say, it took 18 minutes. But if y'all got any ideas or anything, feel free to put it down in the comments. And if you like these videos, give me a thumbs up. And I'm going to go put this back on the drum set. And we'll go in for a test run just like I did a while ago. And then after that, I'll edit all this and get it onto YouTube so y'all can see how I did it. Okay? Have a good one. Okay, so we're back here in the drum room. And I'm going to let y'all hear what each one of these sound like. Okay, these are the standards which come with Pearl drum sets. The clear, single ply. But we may not even be able to tell the difference. I'm curious to see if we do. So, bear with me. This is a 10-inch. And here is 12-inch. And now we're going to slide on over to the 16-inch floor tom. You can hear it. And I could put some moon gel on it, muffle it a little bit. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. just to see some people would have said, just take out your wallet. Heck, my wallet ain't heavy enough. It's like got no money in it. So, but I just want to see what this will sound like. I got rid of a lot of it. You can still hear a little bit. Let's go ahead and put the new drum heads on. And then we'll see how those sound. And we'll be able to add, if we have to, which I think we should, add some moon gel on those just to see the difference in the sound. I mean, I probably won't need it, but just to check, you know, so to be fair with everything, you know. Okay, we'll see you in a few. Okay, hey, I don't know if we did this or not. Let's give the new drum head a shake and see what it sounds like. Okay, and see if you hear any difference in it, and we'll try to stick them together. And this came with the drums, so it's pearl. So there's your sounds. I think it sounds pretty good. And I've got t-shirts, by the way, merchandise for sale down the bottom. I'll drop the link in there. And thanks for watching. Stay safe. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks. Okay, everyone. So this is pretty much the finished product. And if you liked what you saw, or if you have other suggestions, let me know. Give me some comments down at the bottom. Let me know how you change drum heads out, and if you would have done something different, how you would have done it. And you know, I'm open for discussion. I'd like to see if anyone else has any other ideas, because that's the way we all learn. It's a totally learning process. Now, I've been playing drums since I was like 5 years old, and but I still remembered how to change the drum head, so that was a plus. But I was kind of worried about that. I'll tell you right now. You know, I mean, it had been a long time since I owned my own drum set, and I just decided to buy this, to pick it up again. Now I was going over to everybody else's houses and going into clubs and playing the drums and so forth, and so I just wanted to get my own. And you know, I got neighbors downstairs and around here that are noisy, so I can be just as noisy now. I'm joking. I mean, mine would be a nice noisy, if that makes any sense. It'd be musical noisy. But other than that, if anybody's got any ideas, and yes, I do. I've got the moon gels on my drum heads. I'm trying to get a different type of sound, kind of a lower thud type sound on purpose. And I didn't want to loosen everything and redo it. So I just wanted to do something quick and see if I could get away with it. So far, it's working pretty good. You know, and then you know, I still got the original bass drum head on it, which is clear. And yes, I do have double kick pedals. And my cymbals, I have a Wuhan, China Sabian Ride. Let me see if I can slide over here. I sent off for one of these, and it was like $30. That doesn't sound too bad, you know, but okay. And then I've got the Sabian Solar. It was pretty interesting because someone in Canada was having an auction on eBay, and they had this and a set of hi-hats, and well, actually, they have what you see right there. And they had this, and I won it for like $40. So I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And no one else bid on it. So I was impressed. And then I've got my Manos. Which is a crash, and I've got the Pearl crash, and I've got a Zildjian China, and a Pearl hi-hat down there, and of course I've got my cowbell, and I've got another cowbell over here, so I should be cowbelled out. I could probably start clanking those and mooing, and people might come or something, who knows. But everything seems to sound good. But like I say, if you got any ideas or want to tell people how you did it, go ahead and put it in the comments. And if you like this, be sure and subscribe and click the like button. And when you subscribe, click the little bell so you'll hear every time that I'm uploading something, and hopefully this coming year will be a little bit better for everyone, because it's been kind of crazy. So stay safe and have a good new year. My eyes are almost completely healed. They're doing better. The doctor dropped me down to 3 drops, 2 meds, 3 drops in each eye, or no, 2 meds, 1 drop in each eye 3 times a day instead of 2 meds and, did I say it right? because I had 2 meds, and I was putting 1 drop from each bottle in my eye 4 times a day, and the doctor cut those down to 3 times a day. And then they're going to go in and see if I need reading glasses. I may and may not. So I'm kind of happy about that. And we will talk to everyone whenever all this gets completed and established, and I don't have to wear any glasses or wear any patches at night and so forth. Well, good luck to everyone. I'll stay safe, and thank you.